What's good, everyone? I'm Brian Sampson from Dunking with Wolves, and today I'm coming at you with a video about Andrew Wiggins and his cutting or lack thereof. We all know that he can be an elite finisher around the rim, and now he needs to embrace his role in this offense and cut a lot more often than he already does in order to fully take Minnesota to the next level and to new heights that they've never seen before as a franchise. I'm going to show you some examples of what Wiggins does currently on offense and how it hurts them at times, show you some examples about Dwayne Wade and how he's embraced and adapted to his new role in Cleveland, and then also show you some examples of Wiggins and when he does make the right cuts and what positive results come out of those cuts that he makes. So, without further ado, let's dive in. My biggest issue with Andrew Wiggins' game is his inability to play off the ball. Far too often he stands around with his hands on his hips, watching teammates making a play as he does here. I get he's fallen down the totem pole in terms of scoring options with the arrival of Jimmy Butler, but he has all the skills necessary to excel as that third option and take Minnesota to the next level. Take this play for example. Jimmy Butler drives toward the hoop and ends up kicking it out to Zhang, who barely hits the rim on a corner three. Once again, Wiggins is camped out in the corner watching the play. Once Butler receives the ball screen from Gibson, Wiggins' man begins to creep up and toward the lane, preparing to help on the roll if needed. That's when the positioning for the cut begins to happen, as Wiggins is now below his defender. As Butler continues to navigate toward the opposite elbow, Wiggins' man continues to creep further and further away, but the key aspect comes when he turns his head away from Wiggs, losing sight of him completely. At that point, Wiggins needs to immediately cut to the hoop and the lane that's been completely vacated, but instead, he's got the best seat in the house and he's watching the play happen. Here's another opportunity Wiggins could have tried to cut to the hoop in that same game. When the ball's reversed up top to Teague, Wiggins' man immediately creeps closer to the three-point line in order to deny Wiggins the ball, since he's now one pass away. At that point, he should immediately bolt backdoor for the bounce pass or the lob. Even after that missed opportunity, there's still ample time for him to attempt the cut. The best time to do it is when the ball screen is being set, because otherwise Gibson is likely to roll toward the hoop and clog the lane as he does here. I understand he's trying to give his teammates room to operate, but he's one of the best finishers around the hoop and needs to put himself in position to show off that skill. A cut to the basket doesn't always mean he's going to score or even get the ball, but it keeps the defense on their toes and forces them to be aware of him at all times. Here, he does a great job of cutting, realizing it's not there, and then replacing himself at a different spot along the perimeter. We'll ignore him putting his hands on his knees for the rest of the play, but this is a good start. Wiggins can learn a lot from Dwyane Wade, who's also placed in the corner in Cleveland. Wade isn't nearly the outside shooter Wiggs is, and that forces him to be more aggressive in cutting to the hole. When the ball is swung to the opposite corner, Wade's man turns his back to run and help and completely sells out on stopping the drive. That's when Wade strikes, running as close to the baseline as possible in order to give Korver a good passing angle, and that sets himself up perfectly for the yam. Here again, Wade does a great job of getting open off a backdoor from the corner. As the Cavs are pushing the ball up the floor in a secondary break, Wade appears to be jogging unpurposefully to the corner. However, as soon as he gets behind his man, he cuts along the baseline and receives a nice pass from LeBron for the two-handed slam. Don't get me wrong, Wiggins is a great cutter when he wants to be, ranking in the 95th percentile in the NBA with 1.63 points per possession when he does cut, according to NBA.com. Peep this play. As Teague is bringing the ball up the floor, the rest of Minnesota's offense is trailing the play. The point guard gives a beautiful in-and-out move and drives toward the behemoth Porzingis. Wiggins' man then completely turns his head, so Andrew decides to run parallel with his teammate, giving Teague enough of an angle to drop off a bounce pass that Wiggins uses to then score over Porzingis. This is a way too obvious signal to cut, but I want to highlight it because it shows Wiggins can do it. He does a great job here of getting depth on his cut and giving Butler a great angle for the pass. Even though he bobbles it, taking away the assist opportunity, he does a great job of finishing in traffic. Wiggins is so athletically talented, he needs to put himself into a position to succeed more often. The way he fights through traffic, or goes around it, is nearly unmatched in the league today. There's no reason we shouldn't see more of this as the season progresses. As you can see, or probably already knew, Andrew Wiggins has all the tools necessary to become an elite cutter in the NBA. He just needs to embrace his new role on the offense. I really appreciate you guys checking into this video. I'd really love you guys even more if you'd give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also if you want any other Timberwolves related content, you can follow me on Twitter at Brian Sampson NBA. I hope to catch you guys next time. Thanks, Wolves fans.